Are you feeling powerless? This feeling is coming up again and again in your life, and you just don't know how to let it go, how to finally get rid of the feeling of feeling powerless? Well, join me in this episode and let's take a closer look into that subject. Welcome to my channel and to this episode. My name is Sarah, and I want to talk with you in this episode about the feeling of feeling powerless. Because I honestly woke up with that feeling because I got triggered by it through a dream I had. And someone else, I don't remember it exactly anymore, but I remember that someone else had the power over me. I think it was, having my car in the garage, and they kept adding more and more stuff and asking me for more and more money, which I knew it wasn't correct. And I woke up with the feeling of being angry, and then I realized underneath was actually the feeling that I felt powerless because the other person, he could do anything because I needed that car, so he could charge anything, And in so many other ways, feeling powerless comes up. Especially if you are in the process of you want to manifest your dream, you want to manifest something really big and something that you know that you're meant to be. Like, you're meant for this, but you still cannot manifest it. It still doesn't come. And it's kind of like you're here in your present moment, and the things you want, which you're truly feeling that you're meant to have that or you're meant to do that, is here. And you just can't seem to move over here. Or if we look at frequencies, you're here and you see that thing you want up here. And somehow, anything you do, anything you try, or everything you try, you just can't seem to move up to the same frequency where your wish is. And then, doesn't that make you feel powerless? That you just can't seem to figure it out how to get there? Even if you tried all those manifestation rules or, guidelines people give you, think positively, imagine your future, blah, blah, blah. And that reminded me this morning of a book I read. I'm gonna write it to you in the description box. But they wrote something really, really interesting, which opened up a totally new perspective on things. Because they say that basically, whatever you're going through, whatever limitation, limiting belief, suppressed emotion, everything comes down to two feelings. Two feelings. First, I don't feel loved. And the second, I feel powerless. So with I don't feel loved, I kind of figured that out already from a mental perspective. And with my heart, I'm sure there's still gonna come processes with that, going deeper and deeper, higher and higher in the vibration of unconditional love. But I understand that I don't feel loved means you're giving so much power away to other people to judge you, to love you, or take this love away, that it makes you feel not loved. It doesn't make you feel important or good enough. So I understood that taking, back my power and realizing I am the frequency of love, and love is all about allowing yourself to fully accept yourself the way you are. And yes, that's an ongoing process, I think, for everyone. But what about feeling powerless? How can you transform that with your mind as well? And I do understand, like feeling powerless, that if you understand that you are the creator of everything, that you are that you have everything in your hand, you know? There is no reason to feel powerless. And I understand that from a mental perspective. But this is still like things are coming up and then you're getting so angry. Do you know that feeling? Like you're getting so angry at you just cannot make it. You know, you just cannot reach that level of life that you want. And then you come back to understanding, okay, there's something else to learn here. There's something else to decode, you know, within you, a limitation that is still holding you back from where you see yourself or where you're meant to be. And I think you always meant to be there at the right time. But still, you know, it kind of drives you a little bit crazy at some point, and sometimes that you're still not there and you're being impatient and you don't understand life. And I'm pretty sure that at one point I entered, or you know, everyone enters a phase of depression and frustration because you just can't seem to understand, you know, to transform that belief or that feeling. And over the years I realized that that's actually true. You know, there are two found of like basic feelings that are the foundation of everything. Whatever limiting belief you have, if you go deeper down and you take off the layers, then it's either you don't feel loved or you feel powerless. So I think that's a really, really interesting and good information to hold on to when you're working with yourself and you're trying to transform your limitations and raise your frequency. So back to this morning when I woke up with that dream. And then I realized, okay, again, you know, feeling powerless. How else can I transform that feeling? And then I remembered something because I felt like there must be a way out of this, you know? I mean, yes, you know, then you are the creator of your reality, blah, blah, blah. But there must be something else that I haven't seen yet in order for me to release that feeling or to understand it more, to enter in a certain frequency that allows me to truly understand the feeling of feeling powerless, to enter into a field of understanding and there with that transforming that. So I thought about that, and then I thought about the last months, what happened in my life, and it led me to if you've seen the video, the 4 stages of transformation, the last I was talking about the steps I went through in the last years, and the last one was acceptance, and before that there was feeling the emotion, allowing yourself to feel. And back then I understood that I needed to feel it first in order to clean out, you know, the way to my heart. And if you think about feeling powerless, if you feel powerless, which is a really, really shitty feeling sometimes, because, you know, you feel so trapped. There's a feeling of you feel trapped in your life and you can't escape your situation, right? So I thought about, okay, feeling powerless. I do know that, or I remember saying, you are everything. And there's a video from Matthias De Stefano where he was giving an interview in a, I think, podcast or in a show. I will try to find the video and put it in the description box. But he was talking about being successful or where the abundance comes from. And he said that, when you think about creating reality, when you talk about the law of manifestation, it's a very limiting view, the way people see it, thinking that you're alone creating your reality. Because this puts you, if you think about it, in a state of separation towards other people and other lives they live, and the world and the earth, the whole thing. And he said, people who are successful allow themselves to be the others, And I think that's a really interesting way to see it, because for me, I felt that when I heard that, it takes away the feeling of separation and feeling powerless. If you feel powerless and you feel trapped in your life, it leads you back to the feeling, the frequency of you feel separated. You feel separated from yourself. You feel separated from your life. You feel separated. You don't feel connected. You feel trapped, isolated. So, yeah, I'm going to repeat it again. So he said, allow yourself to be seen. No, allow yourself to be everything, to be the others, because they are watching you then. And that is how you create the abundance, like the reach towards people. It's a really interesting interview. And, whenever someone sees that, they take out what the detailed information that is important for them. They filter that out. So have a look at the video and you're going to see what message is important for you in that, if you feel attracted to that video. So I reminded myself this morning about his interview, or his words, saying, okay, I'm allowing myself to be everything, to spread my energy, and reminding myself that I'm not seeing myself as an isolated human being. And I remembered that, thinking about the concept of God or souls, that the soul comes down here, incarnating in a human form to have an experience and to learn and to understand, the polarity we're living here in this on this earth, or in this universe, but that's another subject. So yeah, talking about the concept, I don't want to get into the religion of who and what is God, or does it exist, but in other videos, in his he has a series. I just don't remember how it's called right now, but it's on Gaia. And he's talking about the different dimensions, and also that a lot of times the way dimensions are described is understood wrongly, like it's not understood correctly. And basically, coming back to feeling powerless, he says that, and I believe that we are in everything, and we are energy, and we are experiencing ourselves in so many different ways. And I think, the concept of we are everything is something I'm not really able to describe. I understand it, I know it, and I feel it. But if you're interested in that, look him up on Gaia and see what attracts you, and that you can see your answers. I'm gonna give you more information in the description box about it. Anyways, so I reminded myself about that. So coming from feeling powerless to understanding it's a feeling of separation, and then to remind myself that I am everything, and then coming back to the things I've been led to understand in the past months is the journey to the heart. And I think for us to be able to live in our hearts, there is no separation, cannot exist in that place. So the way to move into the heart and live from the heart and, live and present and express your authenticity, your power in an authentic way, which is led by love, is we have to go beyond the illusion a lot of us are, trapped in as humans in this 3D world, the illusion of separation. And I think that's the key to understand, or decode, or, to transform the feeling of feeling powerless. To just remind yourself, okay, I understand that I'm experiencing the feeling, the frequency of separation. And from there, saying, I understand that that's something to accept, and that's something to understand that that's the way it is. But also then going beyond and saying, okay, but that's not the end of the line, there's something more. And behind there, going beyond this, is living from the heart. And that's what I understood this morning. It's just a way, an experience to understand and remind myself to live. That's the way for me right now, moving into my heart and truly living from there. And in this frequency of unconditional love or living from your heart, if you think about, there's no limitation, there's no separation, and therefore there's no lack, there's abundance, because it's the true field of peace. And because I've always, abundance, you hear a lot when you want to manifest money. Abundance comes from within, like everything comes from within. And I asked myself a lot of times, but how do I reach this spot? How do I get to my abundance place within? And asking myself that question, I realized that I wanted it so much that the desire was so big that it came from a mentality of lack, because I didn't have it at that time. And I realized, and I keep reminding myself, so maybe that's a good clue for you right now, what you need to hear. Go back to your heart, even, and then maybe the question comes, but how? How am I doing? Like, what should I do? How can I get there? And the first thing is did you want it? That's the most important thing to start anything. You want to do it. You want to live from your heart. You want to enter into your heart. Because I think a lot of times we're afraid, because we might facing emotions on the way to the heart that we're not ready yet to feel or face, So how do you do it? First, you want it. You set your intention that you're opening up to move into your heart. And then you will see your decision of doing that. It's already a lot of work done, because you truly want it. And then automatically doors are going to open, things are going to happen in your life, and you're going to realize that maybe later on saying, oh, I needed to feel that. Oh, I needed to understand that in order for me to be able to live from my heart. And a lot of times, so don't be afraid of that, or don't be surprised that when you set the intention, which is a really, really strong frequency of movement, that a lot of things like low vibrational, suppressed emotions can come up. And then you don't understand, why is this all happening? But it's good because you set the intention, you want it, you want to move into your heart. And all what's happening is you clearing out the path, You cannot jump over it because there's a reason why something it might be still blocked, and you need to understand and feel it in order for it to, go away, to clean out the way. And yeah, I think, whatever belief system you have, whatever connection you have of reality, of what you understand or what you think is possible, those doors will exactly open up for you. And when you are in that frequency, you believe that, you know that to be true, to that things are happening because you trust it. And automatic, because when you trust it, you let go. And then it's like you maybe you have heard of that, like when you manifest something, it's like you order something in a restaurant with your waiter. You know for sure that it's gonna come. So you're letting it go, you trust it, and that's it. You never think about it again. And that's kind of the same way and the frequency you are, at that stage, saying, I get it, it will come. So yeah. The way to the heart through feeling powerless. That was it for this episode. I hope you liked the content. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it and follow me for more. Have a wonderful day, night, good morning. I'm sending you a lot of love through this video to find your way to your heart and to be brave enough and to encourage you right now to go through those really low vibrational feelings of feeling powerless. And it's okay. All my best to you.